think there are a lot of people in the audience from a team level, a brokerage level, where competing in competition is a really big thing right now, and especially in an era of signing bonuses. So I want to introduce everyone to Treasure Davis and Ricardo Rodriguez, our two panelists today. And just really fast, just like I did in the first panel. Yes, I love it. Round of applause. I deserve it. Thank you. So before we get started, if you just give us a really quick breakdown. I don't want to spend much time on the panel, but just about your business and what the structure looks like, so the audience has an idea of the perspective you're coming from.
Absolutely. So my name is Treasure Davis. I am located in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Last year, our team did 360 transactions. This year, we're on track for 450. Our average agent does 51 transactions, which I'm really proud of that number. And so our team, we just added 2 more to the team, so now we're a team of 15.
So my name is Ricardo Rodriguez. I'm with Co-Banker in Boston. The team out of Boston is very slim. I have 5 agents. Actually, there's a 6th agent coming in by the end of the week, and 1 transaction manager. We have a huge chunk of the business is concentrated on new construction. So we work with real estate developers of all sizes, from small size all the way up to the 100+ unit developer. And we do great. We have a good hold in the market, and we've been able to grow year by year the entire production. The team is relatively new. It's only been a couple of years. We started in 2016. So we really grew at 2017, and then last year, and I think for this year we're looking at some good numbers and some good stuff.
Right. Welcome to both of you. So Ricardo, my first question is for you. We had some conversations backstage. We talked about some strategies that you use to connect with agents and future agents in your market. Can you share a little bit more on that?
Well, I do think, my favorite thing about real estate is that there are as many ways of doing it as there are practitioners. So, the way in which I do it, I have a very specific reason for the creation of the team. Certainly is having the ability to have more business and to work with more clients and to have higher production. But really, for me, to be absolutely honest, it's about succession. When I started in this business, I would see these agents that have been at it for 30, 40 years, and then they retired, and then the business went away. And to me, that was really just like the strangest thing. And really, the creation of the team is about finding people that eventually can take over the 15, 20, 30 years that you have put up of your life into building what you have at that point. So something that I do is I take as many coffees as possible. I was telling you that. I do maybe 3, 4 coffees a week. I meet with all of these agents. We have conversations. In some instances, I take the role of some sort of mentor, in which I talk to them on a regular basis, try to see how their business is going, help them grow it on their own. But they stay in the back, almost like a farm. I have a farm of agents that I know that eventually I'm going to need. So as my needs change, as I need to adjust my business, then I start relying on those people that I've been working with. Actually, I've been mentoring for a while. So by the time that they come to me, are people that understand how I do the business, are people that I know, that I understand, and then it makes for a much easier, and I think a much more productive relationship and transition.
Yeah. It's so good, and when you shared that with me, it really reminded me that it's about the connection of the people.
Yes, absolutely.
And for so long, I've been worried about, brokers have been worried about more commission, more splits, signing bonuses, money.
Yeah.
And it just stuck out to me that you say, I try to schedule as many appointments as I can to connect with agents, and that's my farm.
Yeah, teams are about production, as we know. That's why we all kind of like put together all our resources. But at the end of the day, it's not about collecting people. It's really about finding some sort of like common culture and creating something that makes sense for everybody that is around the table. And that's where when you are able to create, I think, cohesion and also a buy-in into your vision.
Yeah, great. So Treasure, I've got a question for you. Congratulations on 51 transactions per agent. That's a phenomenal number. How do you protect your people?
So a lot of it comes down to just being really transparent and letting them know, I work for a big brokerage. We get calls all the time about going to this one, that one, and meeting with them. But coming back, I told my team from the very beginning, I've never had a meeting with another company that my broker did not already know about. I've always been very transparent with my broker to let them know, hey, I'm just going to hear what they have to say, and if I can bring back an idea or if it's something I'm considering, I'll give you an opportunity to answer to it. I expect that from my clients, from my family, from my friends. Why would I not offer them the same respect?
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. So I have open dialogue with them and say, when you do get those calls, I hope that you will respect me the way that I respect you, or the way that I respect my broker, and you respect our broker as well, and we just have an open conversation about it. But at the end of the day, like, nothing is for free. And so all of these big companies that are offering all this huge, huge money right now in this marketplace, first of all, I question how it's sustainable, but also more than that, like, nothing is for free. A lot of people want us to come in and sell their house and they want to cut our commission down to nothing. We don't have any marketing dollars when we cut our commission. Because the broker gets paid and we have expenses, so that leaves something on the table. So I just question the big companies that are offering these huge signing bonuses, like, they're going to get their money back. They're not giving it to you for free.
Okay.
So.
Just share a little more when you say get their money back, for maybe some people in the audience that this isn't happening in their market. When you say get their money back, describe that a little bit more.
A lot of companies, we had an offer from an amazing company that offered us $350,000 to switch our company over to their company. And that's a lot of money. It's like Monopoly fund money. Like, it's a lot. And so as flattering and as nice the offer was, when you look at the agreement and the fine print, that's where you saw, like, okay, here are the terms and the rules of engagement. If you want to engage, these are the rules to follow around it. And so I think just having that dialogue with your team to say, if you choose this, here's the rules of engagement. Just like when you join our team, there's things that we want, there's things that you want. So just making sure that it's a level playing field.
That's really good advice. Ricardo, I'm so interested in this coffee thing and the way that you really set appointments and you're intentional about it. Can you share with the audience some of the things that you're learning from it? So what are some of the things you're learning about agents, about needs, about you as a leader?
Well, I do think that it's, our business is about best practices, right? Even this conversation that we are having is not about copycatting what we are talking about and doing. It never works that way. It's really about picking out the things that you think are the most valuable and then kind of like interpreting them and turning them into something that is valuable to your own business. And to me, it's really about that. It's really about having these conversations, getting to understand what is happening on the market, getting to understand who your competitors are. That's the other thing. Like, when you have all these meetings with people, you're understanding what people are thinking. It's not just about picking up ideas, but actually trying to figure out where your place is within that marketplace. As you know, the only way to stay relevant in this business is to stay ahead of the game. Like, if you look at my business plan and just my own general vision, I am already 2 years down the road. I have an idea of where I'm going to be in the next 2 to 3 years. So for me, it's very important to communicate constantly with my colleagues as to what is it they're thinking, how are they doing their business, so that we could really create that kind of like backstory and infrastructure for me to be able to continue to build the business that I need to continue to build.
Yeah, really, really good.
One thing that we started to compete as a team that I really wanted to share with everybody was we created, this will be, I believe, our 3rd year doing it, but we do a favorite realtor party. Some people call it a peer party. So we invite, everybody on the team picks 3 to 5 of their favorite realtors that they've done transactions with or they've had communication with, and we invite them to a party. So we have food, drinks, prizes, and it's an exclusive way to say to them, like, thank you, you really stand out in our industry. But it also helps us when they're, presenting multiple offers and offers are identical, terms are identical for their clients. They can say to them, I like this realtor and I know they're going to get the job done and they're not going to cause a lot of drama and we want to work with them. And so we've had those parties and it's a nice way for us to engage with our colleagues and let them know that we appreciate with them and that they're not competitors because there's enough for everybody in the marketplace to have a piece of the pie. It just depends on what your market share is. But we really want to celebrate realtors and let them know that we're grateful.
Yeah, and I think that kind of like transpires into your own team. Like one of the things that I try to encourage the people that I encourage myself and the people that work with me is to really be respectful of our colleagues. I think that because we know how confrontational a transaction could be, and I think that understanding that at the end of the day we're here for the long term and that we have to continue to maintain these relationships with all of these people, I think is important. And I think that it also helps, in my opinion, it helps with making sure that the agents that are part of the team stay within the team because they feel like we are, it comes from the core, that we are valuing our colleagues and the brokerage community, and then because of that, they're being valued themselves. And I think it helps with, keeping people engaged in the process.
Treasurer, you mentioned, you questioned how sustainable signing bonuses are in sort of the era that we're in. There have been a lot of conversations about, markets changing, shifting things happening, technologies coming in. There's all these things that are happening in the real estate industry right now. But my question for both of you, what's going to change on the recruiting front?
I think that yesterday someone said, and I thought it was so amazing, they said, any business model works as long as it's executed properly. And I feel that is such a valuable statement because my model is different from your model, different from your model, but all of us can be very successful in our markets based off of our models. And, our model is very organic. We're very organic. I hired my first agent that was on the other side of a transaction. I hired my next buyer agent because that one was going to have a baby. That's just how the growth of our team has been. And so, yes, we have big goals and we have a vision and we relate that to the team, but everything has been so organic and natural for us that I think that, when people decide to move on or make changes, we're going to welcome them to be successful in other places as long as they do it in a respectful way. And I think that there's a lot of room for people to move and try things that they want to. But the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I was telling, we had dinner last night, and I was telling one of the broker owners of a company, it all comes down to your broker. It all comes down to the manager that you surround yourself with. And when they love you and respect you, when they have your back, you're going to be fierce and loyal to them. And it goes the same for our team. When they know we have our back, they're going to be fierce and loyal to us.
So what do you think is going to change with the signing bonuses in that structure? When you would question the sustainability, how and when is that going to change, and what is that going to look like from your perspective?
I think there's always going to be a place for it. But I've been licensed since 2005. We've seen a lot of the discount brokers come and go, and now they're kind of coming back up again. And I think there's going to be a place for them in this marketplace, but I personally don't foresee them being a player. And I don't know how companies can offer such huge signing bonuses and offer 100% splits because there is no money for them to market or sustain you. No. And that's not the way that any of us run our teams up here.
Yeah, maybe it was like last year, a couple of years ago, I can't remember who it was, I apologize, but it was a major publication that had a whole article about what they call mercenary agents, right? Like these agents that, because of this bonus culture and this, I'll give you 99%, split, that are literally running from one company to the other one to the other one. And I think that there is a place for companies like that, and I think there is a place for agents like that. But I think that in general, I think most of us understand that it is about, long-term relationships, that is about, understanding that you're in the right culture as far as your broker is concerned, that you're in the right culture as far as your team is concerned, and that is about that long-term strategy, that we are not here to work 1 year and make $2 and run away, but that we are here to really establish those long-term relationships. And I think, again, that translates to us as the people that are, leading some of these teams, and then I think it also translates into the people that are working as part of our teams.
Yeah, and in the absence of values, money is always the question.
Yeah.
It's always the question. And if there's not enough value, you're going to question it.
Ricardo, so I've got a question for you. So you have these, in most cases, there are brokers that are offering signing bonuses.
Yes.
And how, as a team, do you compete against that to convert that prospective agent to join your team rather than take the payday to go to the brokerage? What's your value proposition to that person?
Well, it comes, it does come to that. It comes to your own value proposition and what you're bringing to the table. I do think that the value proposition, and I'm always very clear when I have all these conversations, is that when you are working with me, you are a partner on this. my group is, my team is called Ricardo Rodriguez and Associates. It's not called the Ricardo Rodriguez team. And it's called and Associates because I feel that we are more on a horizontal kind of like placement. Where everybody's coming to the table with the same kind of like value to it. Is that there are differences in experience and maybe in expertise and what you might be bringing, but that we are all very equal. So really, when I talk to people, that is really my value. I'm not coming here to tell you that I'm the rainmaker or that I'm the boss. It's none of that stuff. It's what are you bringing to the table that is going to help my business better. Because if you do well, that means that I do well, right? And so really, the relationship is more one of partnership, is more one of mentorship. And I think that the mentorship, it's a really, really strong value proposition to the agents that want to join. Believe me, I have, historically hired agents that are, in the first 2 to 3 years of their career, but in the past 3 to 6 months, I've been talking to really established agents that are ready to move into the team, people that are already producing, like what you would consider top producers in the market that are ready to move in and join the team because they understand that it is not about, my name might be in the door, but it's not about that door. That is about really what we can put together and build together as a group. So it to me has been a very, very interesting kind of like exercise in patience and an exercise in trying to figure out what is the best. But I am very, hopeful and positive. And I see the results in terms of production. Between 16 and 17, we quintupled our production. By 18, we grew by maybe 30%. I think this upcoming year, we should really get almost double what we did in 18. So if everything goes well, I think that we will get to that. That is that team.
That's great. I think my biggest takeaway from what you just shared right there, you're truly leading from the bottom up rather than from the top down. And I've watched teams and brokers around the country, and the ones that are the most successful are the ones, to your point, where it's and associates, and you're right there with them on the ground level, marching along. So smart.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all agents, right? We might have more experience than some other ones. We might have, better luck on, booking business, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we are all agents. We're all colleagues, and we can learn. I have learned so much from some of this. Last year, I hired this. He's a 19-year. He's about to actually. He was 19 when I spoke with him like a year and a half ago. He's about to turn 21, and he emailed me and he said, I'm in real estate, I'm brand new, I'll volunteer for you. So I met with him, I was really, really impressed, and then we got him to not volunteer, but he's our transaction manager at this point. And I got to tell you that I have learned so much from this 20-year-old man with little experience in real estate, because he had taught me so much as to how being a better team leader, and he has also taught me so much as to how I can make my business better. So it all adds up.
Treasure. So your value proposition to compete against a broker that is offering these huge signing bonuses.
Yes, so when I first got licensed in 2005, I switched brokers because our company went bankrupt in 2008. We had to switch companies. And from that meeting, I learned so much because they did not take anybody who was just breathing. Like, you had to interview and they had to accept you. And it was a big deal to get hired at this company. And I kind of took that same mentality, ever since I was a solo agent, I've looked at things along the way and I'm like, well, that model works for them, but that's not the model for me. That model works for them, but that's not the model for me. And so we have a whole interview process. And I tell them from the very first meeting, I'm not actually the one that hires you. The team actually hires you. And it's based off of, we hire and fire to our core values, and our core values are based around charity, and that's everything of who we are. And at the end of the day, they make the decision if you join the team or not. So
Hire and fire to your core values.
Absolutely.
That's so perfect. It's a great time to wrap up. I just want to thank both of you for being on this panel.
thank you.
Thank you.